An Alden boot costs $400. A Saint Laurent Chelsea boot costs $800. The exact same leather. The shoe is not. 5 shoe brands are using the same construction as the luxury labels, charging 3 times the price. By the end of this video, you will know which ones. Number 1. Gucci. Gucci is the entry point for this list because the horsebit loafer is the single most iconic luxury shoe in men's fashion. Instantly recognizable, universally associated with wealth and taste, and built to a standard that does not match the price you pay for it. The Gucci Horsebit 1953 loafer retails for $900 to $1,300. The construction is Blake stitched. That means the sole is sewn directly through the insole in a single pass. Blake stitching is a legitimate method. It produces a sleek, flexible shoe, but it has a ceiling. After 1 or 2 resolings, the insole integrity weakens. The shoe reaches the end of its structural life within 3 to 5 years of regular wear. At $1,200, you are in the same price bracket as shoes built with Goodyear welt construction. Shoes that can be resoled 5, 6, 7 times. Shoes that last decades instead of years. Here is what the audit of Gucci leather actually reveals. The brand relies heavily on what the industry calls B-grade hides. These are hides finished with a thick layer of pigment, essentially paint, to mask surface defects. If you scratch the surface of a Gucci loafer, you find bright, unfinished leather underneath. The color is only skin deep. The leather underneath is not the quality the price implies. Gucci is a fashion house. It designs handbags, clothing, fragrances, and accessories. It does not have 130 years of shoemaking tradition. It does not operate a bench-making facility in Northampton or a hand-lasting workshop in Massachusetts. It manufactures shoes in Italy at scale using methods optimized for volume and margin. The horsebit is beautiful. The price is not justified by what holds it together. At $1,200, the construction gives you a 5-year shoe. The logo gives you a story. You are paying for both. The shoe is worth half that. The story is worth whatever you decide. But the construction does not lie. Number 2. Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton began as a trunk maker in 1854. Leather goods and luggage built the brand. Shoes were added later as a product extension, not a craft specialization. And that distinction matters more than any marketing campaign ever will. Men's dress shoes retail for $900 to $1,500 and above. The construction is typically Blake stitched. The materials include what the brand calls epi leather, which is heavily embossed and plastic finished, allowing the use of mediocre hides that would otherwise be discarded. Many of the brand's most iconic products are constructed from coated canvas, a PVC-coated fabric marketed with the same prestige as fine leather. A Blake-stitched Louis Vuitton dress shoe at $1,100 offers the same resoling limitations as the Gucci, 1 to 2 resolings before the insole reaches its limit. A functional lifespan of 3 to 5 years under regular rotation. Did you know that the LV monogram canvas that appears on many of their shoes is not leather at all? It is a coated fabric. You are paying a 4-figure price for a material that costs a fraction of genuine full-grain leather to produce. At $1,100, you could buy a Goodyear welted shoe from a dedicated shoemaker with over a century of heritage. A shoe built on a last design for feet, not for a fashion runway. A shoe resolable for decades. Instead, you are buying the monogram, the brown and gold, the association with a trunk maker who never specialized in what goes on your feet. The LV logo on a shoe adds $500 or more to the price compared to equivalent construction from brands whose entire existence revolves around building footwear. That premium does not purchase durability. It purchases recognition. Number 3. Prada. This is the most important brand on the do not buy list. Not because the shoes are the worst, but because Prada proves through its own corporate structure that it knows exactly what it is doing and does it anyway. Prada acquired Church's in 1999 for £106 million. Church's is a Northampton shoemaker, founded in 1873. Goodyear welted construction, hand-lasted. Built by craftsmen in England's historic shoemaking capital. Church's shoes start at approximately $650 and represent genuine English bench-made quality. Prada's own label shoes retail for $800 to $1,500. The construction on Prada's dress shoes is typically Blake-stitched or cemented, not Goodyear welted, not bench-made, not built to the same standard as Church's. Read that again. Prada charges more for its own shoes than the heritage shoemaker it owns charges for Goodyear welted footwear built by hand in Northampton. Prada owns a company that builds shoes the right way and still sells its own shoes at a higher price, built a cheaper way. When a company that owns a heritage shoemaker refuses to build its own label shoes to the same standard, it is telling you exactly what it thinks of your money. It is telling you that the name Prada on the insole is worth more to the buyer than the construction method underneath it. That is not just overpriced footwear. That is a corporate confession. Number 4. Cole Haan. Cole Haan was once a respected American shoemaker. Then Nike acquired it in 1988. Then private equity bought it in 2012 for $570 million. American manufacturing ended. Production moved to India, China, and Vietnam. And the brand introduced something called Grand OS technology, which is a marketing term for sneaker-style EVA foam midsoles integrated into dress shoe silhouettes. But the construction problem goes deeper than foam insoles. Most Cole Haan dress shoes use a method called bonwelt. Remember that term from earlier? The visible stitching around the perimeter of the shoe, the same stitching that signals Goodyear welted construction to most buyers, is purely decorative. The sole is cemented. The stitching attaches nothing. It exists to signal welted construction without delivering it. When a Goodyear welted shoe wears through the sole, a cobbler removes the old sole, attaches a new one through the welt, and the shoe continues for another 5 to 10 years. When a Cole Haan bonwelt shoe wears through the sole, the shoe is finished. The cobbler cannot reattach a new sole through cosmetic stitching. The shoe goes in the trash. The customer who paid $250 believed he was buying a Goodyear welted shoe. He was buying a glued shoe with cosmetic stitching and an 18-month to 3-year wear cycle. That is the heritage betrayal in its most direct form. Number 5. Johnston Murphy, founded in 1850. The marketing tagline is well known to anyone who has ever walked into one of their stores. Shoemaker to the presidents. The brand has produced shoes for every United States president since Millard Fillmore. That history is real. That history is documented. In 2017, Johnston Murphy stopped making shoes in the United States entirely. The factory closed. Production moved to India, China, Vietnam, Italy, and Brazil. Mainline construction shifted to cemented soles. The retail price held steady at $200 to $400. The shoemaker to the president's tagline did not change. Audits of modern Johnston Murphy shoes have found heel blocks made of compressed paper and insoles constructed from cardboard or low-density foam. The brand has also discontinued its traditional recrafting services, which confirms that its products are now viewed as disposable by the parent company. The customer paying $350 at a Johnston Murphy store today is not paying for American craftsmanship. He is paying for Asian production, wearing an American heritage label. Number 6. Dr. Martens. The contemporary Dr. Martens brand is split between its mass-produced Asian line, which accounts for 99% of production, and its Made in England line, which accounts for 1%. That split tells you everything. The standard line, manufactured in China, Thailand, and Vietnam, uses a heavily finished corrected grain leather that is prone to cracking and bubbling over time. The foam midsole collapses within months. The airwear sole is heat-sealed to the welt, which makes it nearly impossible for a standard cobbler to resole. The iconic boot that was built to last decades in its original English form is now a fashion product designed for a 2 to 3 year replacement cycle. The Made in England line uses traditional construction, a felt midsole that molds to the foot, and genuine leather that develops character over time. It is a completely different product, but it represents 1% of what the brand sells. The other 99% is trading on the reputation of the 1%. Number 7. Aldo. Aldo is fast fashion applied to footwear. The leather is often made from scraps and corrected with synthetic bonds. This low-grade material results in extreme creasing and a total loss of structural shape within weeks of wear. Every Aldo shoe uses cemented construction. Quality control is among the worst in the industry, with frequent reports of soles splitting or separating within the first year. Biomechanically, Aldo shoes offer almost zero torsional rigidity. If you grab an Aldo shoe by the heel and the toe and try to twist it like a dish rag, it will twist completely. That means the shoe provides no support for your arch, no stability for your ankle, and no protection for your joints over the course of a full day on your feet. Number 8. Steve Madden. Steve Madden is widely cited by footwear auditors as producing overpriced product at a mid-tier price point with low-tier construction. The brand uses the lowest quality leathers available, which are prone to severe cracking and peeling. Like Aldo, these are exclusively cemented shoes with no resoleability. The promise is high fashion style. The reality is a product that will fail and need to be replaced within months, leading to a cost per wear that is significantly higher than any of the investment brands we are about to cover. Here is a number that puts it all in perspective. A Haan at $200 with 0 resoles and a 300-day lifespan costs you roughly 66 cents per wear. An Alden at $600 with 3 risoles at $100 each across a 10-year lifespan of 3,000 wear days costs you 30 cents per wear. The cheap shoe costs more than twice as much per day to own. That is the math the luxury fashion industry does not want you to do. Now, let us talk about the 5 brands that actually earn their price. Number 1. Alden. Alden is based in Middleborough, Massachusetts, founded in 1884, family-owned, 4 generations, and the undisputed standard for American dress shoe construction. Every Alden shoe is Goodyear welted in Massachusetts and features a tempered steel shank for maximum torsional stability. The brand is the largest user of Horween shell cordovan, a rare and extremely durable leather sourced from the hindquarters of a horse, processed at the Horween Tannery in Chicago, the same tannery since 1905. Shell cordovan does not crease like calf leather. It rolls. It develops a deep, rich patina over decades. It resists water. It resists scuffing. And it gets more beautiful the longer you wear it. The Alden Indy Boot, Model 405, is one of the most iconic American shoes ever made. Harrison Ford wore it as Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He chose it himself. That same boot is still in production today, still made in Massachusetts, still the same construction, still Goodyear welted. Standard Alden shoes range from $700 to $900. Shell cordovan runs $980 to $1,100. At those prices, you are buying American manufacturing, Horween leather, and a construction method that has not changed in 140 years. Alden does not advertise. It does not sponsor influencers. It does not chase trends. The shoes sell because the men who wear them tell other men. And what they tell them is simple. Once you own a pair, you understand. Number 2. Carmina. Carmina Shoemaker is based in Mallorca, Spain. The workshop origins trace to 1866. 6 generations of accumulated shoemaking knowledge. The modern Carmina brand was formalized in 1997 by the Albaladejo family with a focus on premium bench-made shoes. Every pair is Goodyear welted over 190 individual steps, hand-beveled waists, closed-channel soles. These are construction details that typically appear on shoes costing $1,500 or more. Carmina delivers them for $450 to $700 in their standard line. The leather is sourced from top French tanneries, ensuring it develops a rich patina over time. The variety of lasts available at Carmina allows for a highly personalized fit that respects the wearer's foot geometry. There is no celebrity ambassador, no global advertising campaign, no influencer deal. The shoes are discovered by men who care about construction and then recommended to other men who care about the same thing. That is the entire growth model. At $600 for a Benchmade Goodyear welted shoe with hand-beveled details from a 6th-generation family workshop, Carmina represents the strongest value proposition in luxury footwear anywhere in the world. Number 3. Meermin. Meermin provides the highest value-to-cost ratio in the footwear industry, based in Mallorca, Spain, with a direct-to-consumer model that eliminates the retail markup that inflates every other brand on this list. Despite a price point often under $250, Meermin uses traditional Goodyear welting and even hand welting for its premium Linea Maestro line. The leather is full-grain and exceptionally durable. Meermin shoes are structurally rigid and pass the torsional rigidity test easily. For a consumer seeking an entry-level buy-it-for-life shoe, Meermin is the logical choice over brands like Haan or Johnston Murphy. You are getting the same construction method, the same European leather supply chains, and the same resolable lifespan at a fraction of the price. The difference is the absence of a marketing budget, a flagship store on Fifth Avenue, and a logo that adds $300 to the sticker price. Number 4. Nick's Handmade Boots. Nick's Handmade Boots in Spokane, Washington, produces what are arguably the toughest boots in the world. They utilize a stitch-down construction where the upper is turned out and stitched to the midsole, making the boot both water-resistant and fully rebuildable. Nick's uses 7 to 8 ounce full-grain leather, which is nearly double the thickness found in standard work boots. The boots are entirely made of natural materials: leather insoles, leather midsoles, leather heel stacks. Everything conforms to the wearer's anatomy over time. The boots are famous for their classic high arch last, which provides legendary support for workers who spend long hours on their feet. These are not fashion boots, these are tools. Built in America, built to be rebuilt, built to outlast the job, the decade, and possibly the owner. If you work on your feet, if you spend time outdoors, if you want a boot that will be with you for the next 20 years, Nick's is the answer. Number 5. Brooks and Hoka. For athletic and daily walking needs, Brooks and Hoka are the clinical standard for orthopedic health, and they belong on this list because the conversation about shoe value is not only about dress shoes. Brooks designs shoes around what they call run signature philosophy, which means accommodating the wearer's natural gait rather than forcing a correction. Their guide rails technology controls excess movement only when the foot deviates from its natural path, reducing strain on the knees and hips without interfering with natural motion. Hoka pioneered maximalist cushioning combined with a meta-rocker sole geometry that reduces impact and promotes a smooth transition from heel to toe. They are the top clinical recommendation for severe plantar fasciitis and arthritis. The foam does not wobble. It remains stable thanks to a wide platform that cradles the entire sole. The Meta Rocker designs a sculpted curve from heel to toe, acting like a smooth rocking chair, propelling your heel forward without forcing your plantar fascia or Achilles tendon to overwork. At $140 to $160, Brooks and Hoka deliver construction that is purpose-built, clinically validated, and designed to protect your body over thousands of miles of use. That is value. That is what a price tag is supposed to represent. Before we wrap up, here is how to verify everything we just told you the next time you walk into a store. For dress shoes, tap the heel against a solid surface. A high-quality shoe with a stacked leather heel produces a sharp, dense sound. A low-quality shoe with a plastic or hollow heel produces a dull, hollow thud. Then press your thumb firmly into the upper leather. If it forms fine, hairline wrinkles that disappear when released, you are holding high-grade calfskin. If it forms large, bubbly creases that remain, you are holding corrected grain leather with a plastic coating. For sneakers, grab the shoe by the heel and the toe and attempt to twist it like a dish rag. If it twists easily, it lacks a midfoot shank and will provide poor stability. A quality sneaker resists that torque. Then pinch the heel counter. It should be rigid and resist collapse. If it is soft and squishy, it will not stabilize your heel through a full day of wear. For boots, place the boot on the floor and push the toe upward. The boot should bend exclusively at the ball of the foot. If it bends or buckles at the arch, it is structurally deficient and will likely cause plantar fasciitis or arch pain over time. And for any shoe over $100, look at the bottom of the sole. If you see stitching crossing the bottom of the leather sole, the shoe is welted and can be resoled. If you only see stitching on the side, the shoe is bonwelt or cemented. 3 seconds. That is all it takes to know whether the shoe in your hand can outlast the next decade or whether it is headed for the trash in 18 months. The sole tells you everything. The label tells you nothing. If you own a pair of dress shoes that cost over $500, drop the brand and how many years you have worn them in the comments below. The real test of a luxury shoe is how it looks after 10 years. Help the next man know which ones pass that test. If this video saved you money or changed how you think about footwear, hit the like button and subscribe. We break down exactly what you are actually paying for across every category of men's products, every single week. No sponsorships, no brand deals that influence the rankings, just construction data and prices. We will see you in the next one.